with that bad man. I'm just not going to roll with that bad man because it's not about him. Listen, let's be very, very clear. It don't matter if he goes 0-16. Aaron Rodgers is a bad brother. Make no mistake about it. But I'm just not sold on Green Bay, and I've articulated that on many, many occasions. Seattle has grinded. Now, they've lost, obviously, a few games more than they've won. We get all of that. But they've grinded. They've grinded in 2 losses against L.A. 2 of those losses are against the L.A. Rams this season. I mean, they have fought hard. And so I look at them on their home turf against against Green Bay, even though they've got that bad man. I just see, I look at the Green Bay Packers, and I don't have a lot of faith in their defense. I think Seattle will be able to run the football against them. I think Russell Wilson, being the kind of quarterback that he is, that can beat you with his legs as well as his feet, can figure out a way to do it. And because they're on their home turf with that 6th man available to them on Sunday Night Football, I'm going to go with them instead of the Packers.
Okay.
I'm going with the Packers in spite of all logic. Logic dictates, you look at the way Seattle's played this year, the team has played a little bit better than expected, I think. And I think Russell Wilson's been outstanding, actually, even if the numbers aren't always there. You look at, I look at good decision-making, and Teddy, a lot like your guy throughout his career, Russell Wilson began his career as a game manager who's big on 3rd down, which, by the way, you can win multiple Super Bowls like that. But then he's turned into much more than that. And when he needs to be that, he can be that again. They have a running game. Their defense is better. Their offensive line is much improved from recent years. And also on Thursday nights, the road team's defense gets slaughtered on Thursday nights. All that said, I still like the Packers here. I took the Packers to upset the Rams on the road. I thought they probably should have gotten that win. It was a really close game. I'm taking them again. Aaron Rodgers is becoming Aaron Rodgers increasingly as this season wears on. His health is getting better. His team is getting healthier around him. And my gut just tells me tonight that Aaron Rodgers has one of those miracle games and actually beats a team that should beat him on the road. I don't see the Packers going below 500 this time of year.
Yeah, Max, and Jones, the running back for Green Bay, is doing great also. I think he's averaging over 6 yards a carry, so that's something that they haven't had before. I don't know how long they'll commit to the run because they have Aaron Rodgers and they like to throw the ball and score points, but I just think Seattle at home, you talk about logic, the home team on a Thursday night, and also the run game of the Seattle Seahawks. I think that I like the Seahawks in this game. I mean, Rashad Penny last week was just a huge positive for the Seahawks coming back off of injury and being able to run. It's just the run game of the Seahawks, there's so much more than just focusing on the running back there because of Russell Wilson and the threat that he has, how he makes you play true 11-on-11 football. They'll always give you a look along with that complimentary run of a quick screen that you have to defend also, so the offensive line only has maybe 6 to worry about in the box, 5 at times, just based on the scheme. They do a great job of scheming their run game, Rashad Penny. And I just think the run game will control the tempo for Seattle at home. I like the Seahawks in this game.
In front of those 12, short week for sure, Teddy. Let me ask you guys this, because they're 4-4-1 and 4-5 Seattle, and only 14% of teams make the playoffs with that record. If they fall to 4-6, it goes down to 8%. Teddy, I'll start with you. Who do you think ends up making the playoffs, or do either of the teams?
Well, I think they both have a shot. I think they do. But, if Green Bay loses this one, like I think they'll be sitting at 4-5-1, Seattle be at 5-5. To grind out a wild card spot, who do I think it would be? Seattle is a possible team with that, with Russell Wilson. Their defense has got to get better, I understand. But, I mean, this game, after this, getting 10 days off, the Seahawks can possibly make a push for the playoffs.
I think it's Green Bay, guys, and I know that it's a better quarterback-coach combination in Seattle. And it's interesting because both you have Aaron Rodgers and sort of a poor man's Aaron Rodgers, and you have both running games have improved, and both offensive lines have improved. Seattle because they've invested so much over time, and Green Bay because they're simply healthy. But the quarterback-coach combination is interesting because that's really the key to the NFL. Seattle's got it. Green Bay has one half of it. And McCarthy, you don't want to say coaching for his job, but at a certain point, That's really what it's going to be about. I think they have a more desperate coach in Green Bay
well,
right
you
now.
can say the desperate coach, but the fact is you're desperate for a reason because you wasn't getting the job done to the degree that people think you should when you have one of the greatest quarterbacks, if not the greatest quarterback of our generation. Obviously, no disrespect to Tom Brady. When we look at Russell Wilson, however, we got to look at the 21 touchdowns, the 5 interceptions. We got to look at the fact that he's completed 66% of his passes. He's got not one but 2 running backs averaging better than 4 yards per carry. So the running game is there. Green Bay is ranked 22nd against the run. So is Seattle, but at home, I think their run defense is going to be a bit more energized and tenacious than Green Bay's defense. I think ultimately that will spell doom for Green Bay. Not to mention this also, Green Bay can afford to lose more so than Seattle. Remember, Minnesota is ahead of them. Minnesota plays Chicago on the road this weekend, and then after that, they got a contest against Green Bay. It's very plausible that in 2 weeks, the Minnesota Vikings could be 5-5-1.
All right, we shall see. Let's leave it there. Let's get to the team that Teddy won 3 Super Bowls with. Is the Cliff here, Teddy? Your boy, TB12, Panic.
I want no part of this
hasn't been himself of late. Let me give you some numbers. In his last 3 games against the Bills, Packers, and Titans, his completion percentage is under 60. He's only thrown 1 touchdown. His QBR is 41.5. I'd also like to remind you, though, that Gronk only played in 1 of those 3 games. I want to ask you about Gronk later, too, Teddy. Max, how worried are you about Tom Brady?
Very. I mean, listen, falling off the cliff does not mean you can never have a good game.
Yeah.
It means you're not the same anymore. It means that your status as the best in the game or one of the best in the game is no longer there. Look at what Tom Brady is doing against the blitz this year. I know it's been making the rounds this step, but he's dead last in the NFL against Tom Brady. Yeah. Tom Brady picks apart the blitz unlike anyone who ever lived, and this guy's dead last. And part of that is, and you can see it, he's dinking and dunking his way to success when he's having it. Teddy, it's been a month now since I saw him really throw the ball down the field accurately with something on it. The arm has not looked the same. It doesn't mean he's incapable of having a good game anymore, but he's starting to really resemble Peyton Manning toward the end, much more than he ever has. You're right. You can win a Super Bowl as a cerebral quarterback without an arm. But that was the end of Peyton Manning.
Wait, time out. You have your initials on your socks?
Yes. That's in case he forgets who they are.
You're so fancy. I can't even handle life right now. Teddy, what do you have to say about all this?
I thought the Titans did a good job against them. I'll give that to Matt.